Breaking news, tonight at 6, education funding in limbo. Alaska's governor says he's not accepting the education funding bill lawmakers recently passed.
And warmer weather is on the way. I'll show you what to expect as we head into the weekend.
Free compost in Fairbanks from a new machine run through the food bank.
The muskox farm in Palmer is gearing up for Mother's Day. We'll show you some of the cutest new arrivals coming up.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
And developing out of the state capitol right now, Governor Mike Dunleavy says he will veto an education funding bill recently passed by the legislature unless more education reform and policy his office has pushed are passed this session.
Olivia Nordyke has an update.
Rebecca, John, the office of Governor Mike Dunleavy says he confirmed in a closed-door meeting today that he will veto House Bill 57 if more education reforms are not passed this session, telling more than 50 school district employees district superintendents from across Alaska that he will reduce school funding unless policies his administration has been pushing are approved. Keep in mind, we have less than 2 weeks in the regular legislative session, and state lawmakers already passed HB 57, sending it to the governor for consideration. Many school districts have amended their budgets since that happened more than a week ago, changing them based on that bill, which includes a $700 increase in per-student funding, known as the base student allocation. Dunleavy posted on social media after the meeting today, calling the conversation with school districts, quote, productive, and saying in part he wants Alaskans to know we're not backing down. Quote, parents deserve better, students deserve better, and that means we need real reforms alongside responsible investments. Alaska's test scores are near the bottom, and that is no longer acceptable. He says the state needs a system that delivers results, not just more spending, adding, quote, I will continue working with anyone willing to put forward solutions that lead to stronger outcomes for Alaska's children. Clayton Holland, superintendent of Kenai Peninsula Borough School District, says many superintendents entered the meeting prepared for this scenario and confirmed Dunleavy did say he plans to veto the bill. Holland says as educators, they've seen this play out before, but he's not sure how much they're able to change this late in the game.
They are taking this all the way through. And I think really what we are relying on is the integrity of everybody who voted for that to hold fast and do that. And if they're not, then they need to take quick action and be unified again on that. I don't think it's our role at this point in time to do any more lobbying or sharing the truth, which is what we've been doing all along, is being transparent and truthful and sharing our stories.
Holland says as both a superintendent and the president of the Alaska Superintendents Association, many are feeling fear and anxiety with such an uncertain budget situation. The Alaska Superintendents Association saying in part that it is concerned about the governor's comments this morning. In a prepared statement, a spokesperson wrote in part that, quote, a veto of HB 57 threatens to derail months of bipartisan progress and puts essential education funding at risk, funding that our schools and students cannot afford to lose. The association went on to say, quote, we are grateful to the Alaska legislature for its strong bipartisan support of HB 57, and we urge lawmakers to reaffirm their commitment to Alaska's students, educators, families, and communities by standing by this legislation. Alaska's News Source has reached out to several other school districts for their reactions to all of this. You can head to our website for additional comment from Dunleavy's office and look for updates on the late edition tonight. Rebecca, John.
And the Office of Special Prosecutions ruled that 2 Anchorage police officers were justified using deadly force against a man who took a woman and 4 children hostage in a hotel room.
The officers cleared are Jordan Varick and Thomas Franjul. The shooting happened in February at the Hampton Inn near Tudor and C Street.
Now, police say that the man who was killed was 41-year-old Papuet Lupua Alaha, who police say he earlier evaded in a vehicle. Now, when they went to talk to him, he barricaded himself in a hotel room, taking the woman and the children hostage. Police say that he shot at officers through the door and also held a gun to the woman, who he used as a shield before officers shot and killed him. The woman and children were taken to safety. And of course, there's a new pope tonight. Leo the 14th, the 69-year-old, is the first American to be elected to the role of pontiff.
The announcement came this morning with white smoke released from the chimney above the Sistine Chapel. And a little more than an hour later, it was announced that Chicago-born Robert Prevost had been elected as Pope. Archbishop Andrew Belisario of the Archdiocese of Anchorage and Juneau says that he's thrilled with the choice.
And turning to weather, the sun is coming out, and we hear warmer weather is on the way.
Please let it be so. Chief Meteorologist Melissa Fry joins us now with the forecast. Melissa?
Yes, yeah, we definitely have some warmer, sunnier, drier weather all in the forecast. That is true for most of the state. Right now, we are seeing again that sun trying to peek through those clouds. We've still seen a few showers in the higher elevations, but we are in that transition from low pressure to high pressure. And as you look at temperatures, it's a little cool. If you've been out and about today, you know, even a little bit lower than normal for this time of year. And those winds, breezy at times, even makes it feel a little cooler than it is. Now, when we look at the big picture, again, no major storms impacting the state. We have mostly clear conditions from the interior all the way to the slope for the western side of the state. A few showers developing the southwest corner of the state and into the southeast corner of the state. Otherwise, temperatures 47 in Anchorage, but 57 in Fairbanks. We're seeing teens still on the slope, mid-40s down the west coast, all the way into the Aleutians. And we do have two storms moving in. One that's going to bring rain to the Aleutians, one that's going to bring rain into southeast, but nothing that's going to bring any active weather to south central or to the interior. So that's where we'll see the sunshine. High temperatures back into the mid-50s for south central, upper 50s for the interior, low 50s for the western side of the state, and then southeast. That's where that rain is holding on pretty heavy the next couple of days with highs in the upper 40s. And I'll have a look at that full weekend forecast coming up next.
I'm looking forward to it. The Fairbanks Community Food Bank is giving out free compost. That's a month after getting a new composting machine.
Most of us who've composted our lives in Alaska, it takes from 1 to 3 years to do the same thing we can do in 24 hours.
It's pretty cool. So the machine is called a biodigester, and it can process up to 700 pounds of food waste a day, loaded in 3 installments and heating it to 160 degrees. Now, the next morning, the newly made compost runs through a chute into a container, making it accessible to use. The machine was first installed in April, and after testing, the compost started going out this month. According to the food bank, this project is meant to help local growers and encourage them to give back.
What we're trying to do is to get you to share the food that you're growing with our Food is Medicine program, because we have 830 patients enrolled in that program and we need more produce. So we hope that if we share with them, they'll share with us.
That's pretty cool. Now, anybody can sign up for this program by calling the food bank office.
Well, we're still in the month of May, so it is our annual May No Child Go Hungry Drive, a partnership between our Fairbanks stations, KTVF, KXDF, KFXF, and it benefits everyone served by the Fairbanks Food Bank. 40% of people helped by the food bank are children, and it's a need that greatly increases over the summer. If you'd like to learn more about our campaign, use that QR code on your screen, or you could head to our website in Fairbanks for information. The May No Child Go Hungry campaign will run the entire month of May.
Still ahead, in Fort Wainwright, they're recognizing volunteers. We take a trip inside the gates.
And the brand new bundles of joy, ooh, at the
Little
Muskox
face.
Farm. I love it. Yeah, we're going to tell you how they're planning for Mother's Day coming up.
You're watching Alaska's news source.
Well, last night in Fairbanks, incredible individuals were honored for their volunteer efforts within the community of Fort Wainwright.
Adrian Peterson takes us inside the gates.
Here at the Fort Wainwright Activity Center, 84 volunteers are being recognized for the time they gave to the Fort Wainwright community. These volunteers have given at least 75 hours of their time to help out on post, and 6 volunteers will be specifically honored among the dozens represented at the ceremony. 2 of those being honored are receiving the Military Outstanding Volunteer Service Medal for providing over 300 hours of service in the last year.
Oh, I definitely think it's very significant, especially like being out of like the lower 48, where there's not a lot of family or, you know, friends that you're used to growing up with. You have this small community, like here, for example, at Fort Wainwright, that you can come together, find friendship, unity, things that are in common, support one another throughout, and volunteer is very important for that possibility of that to happen.
While some could not attend the ceremony in person, all that were recognized will have their certificates mailed to them. Adrian Peterson, Alaska's news source.
Thanks for listening. Click subscribe so you can get the latest podcast from Alaska's news source automatically. And stay up to date with breaking news and in-depth reporting available for free 24/7 with the Alaska's news source app.